Alright everybody, welcome back to Merger. My name is Jordan.
My name's Nathaniel.
And my name's Brandon.
And today we're going to be doing a movie review for Upgrade. Came out a couple days ago, right? Came out on Friday?
Yeah.
And start off with, if you liked it, didn't like it, thought it was alright.
I fucking enjoyed it. It was
Expectation-wise and stuff, if it exceeded or was below.
exceeded my expectations. It was
That-
so fucking good.
I walked into that movie having the lowest expectations because I did not think it was going to be good at all. And I walked out of that movie with my mind blown away.
I got on IMDb to see some ratings, and I knew that the rating it had, it was going to be a solid movie, but I didn't really have any expectations. The movie kind of crept up on me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, now this movie's out, let's go watch it. So I wasn't much expecting for him. I know it was a very low budget movie, no big name actors at all in there, but I really enjoyed it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the advertising for it really was minimal, but
Yeah.
I've noticed that when you get a movie that has minimal advertising for it, it really comes out to shine later on.
It helps it in the long run, definitely. If you show too much, there's no point in going to watch the movie. Jurassic World, because movies that just show so much footage in their trailers has always been a problem for me. But in all seriousness, they've shown so many scenes in those marketing trailers where, like, the scene where the ball thing, whatever that thing is that they're riding in,
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's like walking around it, and that other dinosaur is walking around, and then the T-Rex saves them. That would have been something to experience in the movie theater, but now we know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, now we know the T-Rex is about to save him, so there's no surprise there. We can go into characters. I feel like that's a good thing to start off with after you liked it.
What's the main character's name?
His name was Gray in the movie.
Yes. Gray Trace.
Gray Trace in the movie. I don't know the actor's name quite yet. This is his first big film.
He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
The role that he had to, some of the fighting scenes where he has to, his whole mood, his own mood is different from what his body is doing.
Yeah.
That is just...
Like the very first fight scene when he was like, Gray, he's got a knife, like he's freaking out because the guy has a knife.
Good way of posture about him, to
Yeah.
carry, like, what he's having to do. Personally, I wouldn't be able to, it'd be hard seeing him in another kind of film. I don't know, he worked for this film, that was what it was. He worked for this film, but as an actor, he still got to get going up there. He definitely, in my opinion, didn't have any supporting help with casting.
No.
Except for, I'd say the antagonist was okay. The other, what did they call him? Upgrades, but they called him something else.
Fisk.
I know, but what was Fisk? Like, they were labeled as something. People that were able to do other things.
It was enhanced or something like that.
They were just called upgrades is what they were. Upgrades, but they're still human. They're not
Yeah.
the same as
STEM.
STEM.
Yeah, which is what gets put into Gray. Aaron. I didn't think he was that great of an actor. I thought he tried to play this creepy role, but in the end, full circle on his ass. So,
Yeah.
to
To be honest, if they would have got like in the Amazing Spider-Man, what is his name?
Andrew Garfield?
Not Andrew Garfield, but the person who
Dane
played.
DeHaan? Talking about Green Goblin?
Yes.
That's who he looked like. I thought.
Yes,
Movie.
that's who he does look like. If they would have got him to play that, I thought he would have done a lot better.
Yeah.
But that's like a A-list actor, and that.
Nobody in this movie was honestly a B-list, because none of them are no names. Even if they had a good performance, it was a shining moment for the Gray's. His name, I can't think. It's a 3-word name. I saw him on IMDb, but I can't remember. If we're going off favorite characters, he's gonna be probably all 3 of our favorite characters.
Yeah, because everybody else is just trash.
There was no one else really that shined.
Yeah, he definitely showed that he really wanted this. He really wanted this to be like the start of his climb in the movie industry.
Yeah,
and he did a really good job at that.
He looks like while watching it, he looked like a off-brand Tom Hardy to me. He really looks like Tom Hardy a little bit in the face in some scenes and stuff. His character development was done very well, because at the very beginning, I'm not gonna lie, it felt kind of slow for a minute there.
Yeah.
But it was done for the right reasons because of the character development they were trying to do for Gray. And he was actually experiencing being a quadriplegic. he was having to get his body washed by his mother, and then he broke down. It was really building up his character.
You see him
very
try to overdose himself.
The story was definitely based around him.
Yeah.
And him evolving into this, you know, something he had never experienced before. And
he had so many different characters in one character. Like, he had to play so many different roles as just one character, as being a paraplegic, as being an AI virtually being controlled by AI.
You got the actor's name pulled up?
Yeah, it's Logan Marshall Green.
Logan Marshall Green is the actor's name that plays Gray. Shout out to him. I didn't really do too much research, and I don't know what time period this movie's based off. It was obviously in the future,
Yeah.
but I don't know what, you know, specifically the time period is. There are cars that can
Drive
work on their
themselves.
own. You know, there are droids that are practically 12. So, it looked a good bit advanced. It looked a good 10 to 20, 30 years ahead of our time.
Yeah. That's like the whole underlying theme of the movie, though, is like
Technology
a warning
is bad.
of what technology can be.
Yeah, I mean, he had a point when he first went and STEM chose him. You know, that scene when Aaron was showing him that for the first time, and he had a line where I see 10 people on an unemployment line because of that STEM, you know, which is a great point. Something like that can be put in someone's body and they can do practically anything with no trouble, then no need for other people, you know, to be doing this.
Yeah.
We just didn't spend any time with any of the characters except for Gray, I feel like.
Yeah, Gray was the only person, because, I mean, it's based around him. Gray was the person we followed from point A to point B.
Yeah, Fisk was in the killing of his wife scene and didn't come back until the third act of the film.
Yeah.
You didn't see Fisk until the last 20 minutes again. Or he re-entered the movie at the bar scene. He figured out that when they cut up the dude's face,
Yeah.
he figured out that happened and something's going on. But then that's when the climax started to rise and they got to
God,
the-
you talk
the
about
movie.
climax, man. You talk about plot twist.
Yeah, you get going there at the end. You get reeled in.
Yeah.
It is just plot twist, plot twist,
Yeah, I
plot
mean,
twist.
Well, he breaks his mind trying to stop the AI from killing a cop that was investigating his wife's murder. But what he does is it's virtually like a dream. That's what he thinks he has. That's what he thinks what happened is that it was a car crash and he woke up with his wife right next to him. But in reality, STEM took over his body entirely and his mind is just scrambled eggs.
For a minute there, I had in the back of my mind I was wanting the movie to end at one point so they could do a sequel. In my mind, I thought they were going to end when he killed Fisk and he pushed his head back, and then they figured out that there was someone else. There was another perpetrator. I thought it was about to end right there with a cliffhanger and like, you didn't finish the job and you're gonna have to finish it in the second movie. It's a short film. It's only about an hour 35 minutes or so. I'm pretty sure that's the runtime, but it feels a little longer.
Yeah, it
I
feels
feel
a
like
lot longer than
It
what
doesn't feel that
think.
short.
I don't feel like the film would have been as good, though, if it had ended right there, because
No, yeah.
the whole movie builds up to that point when he finds that out, and then it just... Boom, 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 like,
That's when it starts to,
I mean, everything just comes to life right there.
You know you got a good movie, though, when, as an audience, or, you know, as a viewer, you're just kind of in shock for a minute.
Yeah.
And all four of us were kind of just sitting there like, damn, you know, like, we didn't see this coming kind of thing. The soundtrack was amazing to this movie, I feel like. Without the low, like, demonic tone with that kind of sound it was doing at the end to give the epicness to what was happening and stuff and the feel. Without that, you know, it's not as, like, oh my god, shocking factor. But when you put everything together and you watch that scene, it's really hitting you like Gray is not in control of his body no more.
Yeah.
He is in a world that doesn't even exist. His mind is in this, you know, like he broke his mind. STEM said he would. He said he has a weak mind. He's not strong. And it will break. And it broke. trying to fight STEM back.
You think STEM is the
good guy.
Is the good guy the entire movie, and then you find out that the whole reason the entire movie happened was because of STEM.
Yeah, STEM chose Gray. He wanted the body. And his whole point of the movie was to frame Aaron and get back to killing him, so then the only person that could make them would be gone, and then his race would be extinct, and he would be the only STEM in the world. Which ends up being true.
Yeah.
Aaron dies. That's the other thing. Very, very brutal death. in this movie. Very
Oh
brutal death.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Twice. Two very
Straight
brutal
up,
and gruesome
man.
deaths.
A guy used to. Okay, in the trailer you kind of see it, but you don't see the aftermath.
Yeah, you don't
You-
see the
A
scene you
guy
see in
gets
this
his
movie.
fucking head blown off. And
The first one I feel like is one of the more gruesome scenes. Like you need to realize what you're about to watch.
yeah,
When
you see it in the trailer also.
he takes the knife out and he pulls it around his head and he pulls it back and
Oh
it
my
opens
God.
up his face right here.
But
and,
in the
and you see it
trailer-
happen.
But in the trailer though, you don't see the aftermath. It just shows you
No,
that he
yeah,
does
you
it.
see him pulling
You
it
don't
back
see
and then it
anything
cuts to
else.
another scene. But in this movie, it does it and it cuts to his face happening.
Yeah, and it's just like,
And
you're
you
like
see the knife and his mouth is open and his teeth are breaking.
That's
and
like the
it's-
moment in the movie where you're like, damn,
No, yeah.
this shit is serious.
yeah, it's spectacular.
The one thing I did know was I heard an interview from the directors talking about compliments he had received for this movie. He had many people that had seen it pre-release, like previewings.
Mhm.
They had come to him and they'd say, "Great movie," blah blah blah, and every single one of them would say that he has added a new element to the action genre. No one had ever seen fight scenes like this before, and the director was very pleased with that. He said it's, there's so many great action scenes in movie history, so it's always special if you can add to that. And I feel like he definitely did.
Oh yeah.
I feel like there are some scenes in here that it's all about camera angle too. They got some
Yes.
stuff
Oh,
in here
man.
where it's like it's like you're a part of the movie almost. They have it shape kind of behind him, but it's like you're walking with him and moving with him, and it really looks amazing.
The
It really
film
does.
might be low budget, but man, it doesn't. It in no way does it feel low budget at all. Like
No, it is
the
low budget.
film crew.
They didn't really have a plot hole. They wrapped it all up. in
Yeah,
that last 10
everybody,
minutes.
everybody died.
Could-
Everybody died.
Good point was, like you said, the movie wouldn't have been as good if it was ended when I said it would have ended. But another thing is, if it would have ended when I said it would have ended, it would have had a lot of
big
plot points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have had a lot of things that had not been covered and would have to be covered in the second one. But they just went ahead and wrapped it up, and I feel like
Well,
I would be
still-
okay without a sequel.
I would too, but you're still left with the question of
Does he get away?
what the fuck happens to Stem.
Yeah. Does he get away? Does he fall in love? Does he take on a shit ton of cops and kill? Like straight up, I would watch him fight cops.
It doesn't necessarily. It doesn't need a sequel, but
No.
If
they
they
did a
did one,
sequel?
I'd watch it.
oh yeah,
I'd go, but I feel like
It wouldn't be as
just
good.
knowing history of movies.
it have a lot to live up to as
Yeah,
well.
it's gonna have like Brandon is basically saying like all these things that story wise, like does he fall in love? Does he do this? Does he do
Yeah.
this? Well, that's what filmmakers are gonna do too, and they're not gonna choose something that's gonna attract all the audience back, or they will attract every audience member back, but it's not gonna please every audience member. Like maybe some people want to go watch him fall in love with Stem, but maybe some people think that's dumb and like why are we back to watch Upgrade 2 and Stem's falling in love with someone?
Or could like they do something along the lines of him getting his mind back, like him like flashing back into reality, seeing what he's doing, like what his actual physical body is doing, like that. I would watch that, like him going in and out, in and out, in and out of consciousness and unconsciousness. That'd be nice. I would
I
enjoy
don't
that.
know. I'm
I
kind
mean-
of torn on a sequel because
I do.
it could be good, but
At the same time,
It's
it could be
just-
trash. Yeah.
I don't know.
In my opinion, if they were to do a sequel, I would not consider it a setup for success. I would honestly consider it for a setup for failure. The sequels always have the hype train with them, but they never fulfill the hype.
letdown. Yeah, so many let down.
I don't know who voiced them.
No, I
don't know
either.
It was different.
He did a
good job. It was different. It sounded like a standard AI robot kind
Yeah.
of thing. Favorite scenes in this movie.
All the fight scenes.
I'd have to say my favorite scene would be when him and Fisk go at it, and then at the end, and they're in the room, and he's figuring out that he can't. Fisk is calculating everything that Gray's doing, so he can't get a punch in. But he finally, he tells
He gets
something
into
that
his
triggers
mind.
him, and he doesn't shoot, and he punches instead, and that's how he wins. So that would be my favorite scene.
My favorite scene is when he ends the one of the guys with the shotgun blast to the face, because it happens so fast. Because you think it's gonna be like maybe like a drawn out fight. No, he breaks his arm and boom, blows his face off. It's just that fast. What about you, Nathaniel?
My favorite scene. I I won't copy Jordan, even though that's probably my favorite scene. But I'll go with probably the scene where you think it's all just a dream that he's having when he goes to the good place in his
When you're starting
mind.
to figure things out.
Yeah, and then it cuts back to Stem having full control over Gray's body. That's probably my favorite scene in the movie.
That definitely was a close one for me. I really love the monologue they do where like Stem is talking over the scenes as they're changing, and he's like, "I chose you a long time ago. You just didn't realize it. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
your mind broke and stuff, and it's just hitting you all at once, and it's going scene by scene, showing you things happen. Like stuff is happening at the beginning of the movie that you don't even know is happening
Yeah,
until
like
the end.
when he's talking into the guy's ear. What's his name?
Aaron, yeah, he's
Yeah,
telling
talking
Aaron.
into Aaron's
He's
ear
like-
when he's at the hospital in the
he's
beginning
like,
of the movie.
Ask him what his wife would want. Like he's perpetrating it all, the whole movie. Soundtrack and cinematography and choreography, directors, producers, all the film stuff. Choreography.
Out of this fucking world.
Yeah,
Out of
I
this
mean,
fucking world. Because
Never seen anything like it before.
ever.
I don't know who trained Aaron, or not Aaron, but
Gray
Gray,
and Fist.
or if he
too.
did it on his own, or if, I don't know. But
Yeah.
man,
He fought like a
The
computer.
the
Straight up.
boss
Yeah, I
battle.
mean-
The boss battle with Fisk. Props to them because they are going at it. That is real. They are stopping
Going
each other's
hard,
punches. And
I
I
fights.
mean, he's
like-
like fighting. He's like his whole body's moving, and his head and his face, his emotions are completely
Aren't,
different from
yeah.
what his body's doing.
Yeah, he's having
It's
to like
insane.
do this and stuff, and he really pulls off great the acting of like I'm doing these things, but I am not doing these things.
Yeah.
Like my body's doing this, but I'm not telling it to.
Yeah, I mean,
100 out of 10, amazing. That was the one outstanding outlying factor for me.
My bad.
You
That's
son of
all
a
I-
bitch.
My bad.
The soundtrack, we already kind of hit on it. It was amazing. I loved it. It's not the best soundtrack I've ever heard in a movie, but it worked perfectly for this movie.
Yes.
The cinematography, there are beautiful shots in this film for a low budget movie. There's a shot at the beginning that I really loved. He tells his wife that he has to take this car out to someone. And he's obviously going to see Aaron, but when they first pull up, the car and what's his car? Do you know what it was?
his
Firebird.
car was it's a
Like he had two cars.
Trans Am.
It was a Firebird, and the second car that you see him with is the
It's a
old
Challenger.
Challenger.
Yeah.
Old Chevy Challenger.
He pulls up
No,
in that.
Dodge.
Challenger.
Jesus
Yeah,
fuck.
sure.
Dodge Challenger. Dude.
He pulls up in that, and his wife pulls up, and they had the car that drives itself, and you kind of just see this shot of like the sun and these rocks that are together, which they walk down to in the two cars, and it looks amazing. They have multiple shots too. During the fight scenes, the cinematography is amazing because it gives you this little sound effect also, where it's kind of like, vroom, you hear that little
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
like when something's happening, and they give you like this little shake effect with the camera, where
And
like
it's-
he's.
It's
Especially
like the
when
camera follows his body.
Yeah,
like,
It follows Gray the entire time. That's what you feel. That's the main
especially
focus
when like
point.
he's on his back and he goes from his back to his feet, it follows him up and it goes
Yeah.
like vroom, and the camera shakes with it, and it's really well done. Directors and producers, I don't know their names. I don't know if they're new to the game. I can check real quick. Well, we got our phones out.
Google that shit.
The writers and the directors. Leigh Whannell, I have right here. Leigh Whannell was the director and the writer. I can go to his IMDb page. It looks like he's mostly known for horror films. He wrote Insidious, and he also wrote Saw 1.
The original Saw, it was shot in one room.
The whole time.
The entire thing was shot in one room. Like, you want to talk about low budget? They got back what they made. Like, they got back how much money they put into that. Like 20 times.
All in all, though, great movie. We definitely recommend you go
Yes,
check it out
please
yourself.
go watch it. Please
Just
like, subscribe, comment it, share,
Yeah.
send to your friends.
subscribe. I won't be able to drop our Twitter handles on this one, but eventually I'll be able to edit, and I'm going to drop our Twitter handles under each of us. So we'll have my Twitter handle, and then under Nathaniel, and then one under Brendan. And we just had our Twitter page created. It is at Merger Productions. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
yeah.
Subscribe.
And have a
Subscribe,
nice
subscribe,
day or night or whenever you're watching this. Peace.